Is there anything here that you would think about differently because it's 3-player and not 4-player and you can't cheat? It's the Mahjong Gen channel. Make sure you like this video and subscribe before you do anything.
Yes, before everything, before we start talking. But welcome to Prost, a show of roasting pros. What does that mean? Are the pros roasting you? Are you roasting us? Are we all roasting each other? Truth is, we are not yet sure either. Join Jen, me, and our guest professional to hear what we want to say.
So each week we invite one streamer to share one of their hands with us that they've played on their stream. And we basically roast it, but we're not that mean. So don't worry. You're welcome.
Yeah. You can roast us right back. It's funny.
This week's featured streamer is once again Panda Vicer, and we have a special treat. We're going to do 3-player mahjong today, and also my cat says hello.
Oh,
hi,
kitty cat. Hey, kitty cat.
Okay, I think you have something else to say. Who's our guest today?
Oh, that's right, our guest. We are joined today by Hiroshi Yamai. You know him as the winner of the first ever World Reach Championship in Paris, and he is also like the thing that keeps Japan Professional Mahjong League rolling without any bumps or hitches. And he has also been as high as League A2, which is almost all of the leagues above where Jen and I have ever been in the Japan Professional Mahjong League. So welcome to the show, Hiroshi Yamai. Hey!
Yay!
はい、こんばんは。よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします.
Here we go. So we're going to share our hand.
All right. A 3-person game.
Here we go. Okay.
3-person game. Ooh, 2 Dora to start off with.
The first hand of the East round, our hero, Panda Vicer, is the dealer in first place, and he's already won Mangan, 6,000 from each player. And the Dora is 4 BIMs, which he has 2 of.
So just looking at this before anything happened, I wonder if you might would think right off the bat, would he pawn 4 bamboos if it came out, or even the 2 of dots if it came out? Or are you really trying to go for a closed hand here?
いや、これはしないですね。しちゃいけないです。単野を確定してないんで、やっぱ9引いちゃうとね、上がれないから、ドラであろうともポンしない。あと、形がね、いいので、弱い形がないんですよね。これもサブローピン、6級ピン、6級層が全部両面で強い形なんで、全然ポンしなくても面前できます。はい。
なるほど。
That's starting off pretty typical, like for a 3-player game.
Cool. I'm thinking, so if you definitely want to use both Dora, I'm not sure whether 2 of bamboos is really useful there. I wonder what he would say for this point.
難しいですよね。これ、候補が両層、パッソー、両ピンなんですよね。で、両ピン切るとサブロック9ピン2度受けでちょっと弱いんですよね。単用にはならないからね。僕はパッソー切っちゃうかなと思うんですけど、パッソーつもぎりね。でもガースの言う通り、ドラ固定の両層もあると思います。もちろん両ピン切りもありです。一通がありますからね。サブロック9ピン2度受けなんだけど、一通って役があるので、ちょっとそこで打点で、カバーできると。で、僕は3はやっぱりスピード重視だと思うんで、パーソー切りがいい、好きかな、おすすめかなと。
Is there anything here that you would think about differently because it's 3-player and not 4-player and you can't cheat? 今の時点で。
そうですね。4マとはやっぱちょっとチーもできないですからね。やっぱポン材を優先するんですけど、この手配はちょっと楽手じゃないっていうか、単野をね、役が確定しづらいので、ちょっとポン材よりもやっぱり横に伸ばすというのと、あと効率をかなり重視してサンマは、打点よりも効率よりかなというふうに思ってます。
I can't get rid of the purple mark.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was the same thing for everybody's screens.
Just a second. Usually I can get rid of it when the... Okay, got it.
Oh, there you go. Cool. いつが高くなった。
そうですね。これはね、ドラ表と3層がね、2枚見えたんですよね。だからまあ、効率的に言うとね、3層の受けも残したいんで、6級層2度受けになってるから、まあ、チー層かパー層を1枚切るというかね、パー層を切る方が、効率は一番いいんですけれども、まあ、3層2枚見えてるっていうのと、6級層引いたときにもう一回6級ピン、サブローピンと6級層の選択ができるっていうので、量形を2つ残したっていうことですね。ちょっと効率を落としたけども、最終形、後形にしたいという気持ちが見えますね。ダメではないですね。
Oh, nice case.
で、選択。
So there's not very many dots out, but there is now the dot is also a Dora. There are already 2 9s out. And I think this is actually why I chose this hand, was for this discard. So I would discard something like the 8 of Bams, I think.
I would go for the dangerous one first and do the 7 of Bams, but basically same thinking, yeah. So what does Yamai think in this situation?
僕はピンズ切るんだけど、どっちかな。ちょっとね、上が怪しいんで、いやー、ちょっと、馬ぶってチーピンとか切っちゃうかもしれない。いやー、やっぱりヤンピンかな。でも、6級層はちょっと残しますね。多分、ピンズがね、やっぱり2度受けだから、ローピンが2つでカバーできるんで、だから、まあ、リャンピン切るかチーピン切るかですね。すごい。ちょっと、パイフだけ見るとチーピン切りたくなりますね。打ってるときは多分リャンピン切りそうだけど。
For me, maybe this is just a hole in my game, but whenever I have a chance for Itsu, it's like, oh, Itsu, definitely. まあ、9層の高めも、なんかもう薄いから。
薄いね、2枚。
そう。なんでItsuも諦めるとか、ピンズ全く出てないローキューピン、3ピンもあるよね。
さっきも言ったんですけど、サンマはやっぱりスピード重視で上がることがすごく大事なんですよね。で、今親番でドラが2枚あって、もう打点は結構十分なので、一番ロスのない打敗はやっぱりサブロッキューピン2度受けのところどっちか払った方が絶対ロスはないんですよね。だから、4人麻雀だとやっぱ打点も見たいから、やっぱ一通をね、追うとは思うんですけども、やっぱ3人麻雀スピード重視だと思うんで、ピンズがやっぱ場に高いんですよね。これ全然出てなく、特に上が全く、5から上が全く相手捨ててないから、ちょっと持ってる可能性がすごく高くて、なんか信用できないっていうかね。
But also, does that make you think maybe you want to keep them so you don't have to discard them? ないですか？
まだね、天敗気配も出てないから、もうワンプッシュぐらいしたいかなっていうとこですね。
And what did he discard? He discarded the 8.
おー、パーピン。
That wasn't any of our choices. But... Team 1 point for America.
That hurts.
ヤンピンか、やっぱり。
パソやかやっぱ。
逆に。でも、まあ結局、天敗でそんなに変わってないね。
So you got the 6, and now he's waiting for 3 6 of dots.
So would you reach here, or would you just dumma because there's 1 3 out already? It's not like the person reaching has thrown any of that. I kind of feel like you might as well reach, right?
リーチでいいと思います。3ピンがね、山に2枚いそうなんですよね。あと、ローソー、引いても、3ピンを引いても、6級層この人には危ないから、どっちみち一緒なので、まあ、ウーソか。一応、ウーソ引いた時にパーソを打てるっていうのもあるけど、まあ、リャンソもちょっと通りそうだからね。まあ、打点的にもリーチでいいと思いますね。
なるほど。
赤ウーピンとかね、赤ウソの振り返りもあるんだけど、まあ、サブローピンが強いんで、はい、リーチでいいでしょう。
はい。
Okay. And the hand ended, so he wasn't involved in the end of the hand. But I thought that was an interesting hand, especially with that, whether to go for Itsu or the possible Ipeiko.
Also, great question by you, actually, because I think that's something that I often overlook is the difference between Sama and Yoma and a 3-person and 4-person game and the different ways to approach it. And, I think I often approach the 3-person game pretty much just like the 4-person game, which is probably why I have not won a lot of 3-person games.
This was our first 3-player hand for Prost. I'm wondering if, Yama, you have any advice about, just in general, after watching a game like this, to the overseas population about 3-player mahjong?
サンマはスピード重視です。ハイ効率を大事にいきましょう。はい。
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Pandapfizer, for sharing your hand with us.
And that's it for today's show. Thanks to Yamai for the sage advice, and thanks to you all for watching. And be sure to join Jen and me again on the next episode of ProAsked. Again, I think we'll have one more with Mr. Yamai. Please join us on that journey to someday finally get enough advice so that Jen and Garth can play like a pro.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Game over.